of you understand law of attraction, no one really here is a beginner because no, you don't really need to understand law of attraction. It really uses you. Law of attraction is just the law of your universe, and everything is ordered by this law of attraction. So while you understand law of attraction, there's really no reason why your life shouldn't be exponentially being so good. There truly is there's no level that you're going to graduate to. There's no next level of your life that you're looking to. There's no making anything come faster. But when you're not looking for the next level, because everything makes its way to you, since you are the point of attraction and everything comes to you. The world, everything literally revolves around you. You're the point of attraction, and you don't go you don't go any faster, because when you're going faster, it doesn't feel like you're going faster. It just feels normal. When you're having multiple subjects that haven't been working, like your finances, your career, everything just popping off all at once, it just feels normal to you. And from an onlooker's perspective, it may look like, wow, your life is going really fast. It feels like it changed overnight. But to you, it just felt normal. It felt like the next logical step. And so if what you want isn't here yet, there's only one reason why it's not here yet. It's because you're not truly in vibrational alignment with your desire. Because if you were in true vibrational alignment with your desire, because sometimes you think you are, sometimes you're like, I'm doing everything, but how come what I want isn't coming? And we say, that's why. That's why. Because when you're in vibrational alignment with what you want, it comes really fast. It's this vibrational gap. It's not going anywhere. It's not about talking about what will come. It's actually tuning your frequency in this now moment to allow the perception of the more that you're basically asking for, and that's been created for you. Everything you want is already ready for you. And this is the rub, is that you're just getting better at perceiving the frequency. So something like daydreaming, visualization, writing about it, all that stuff is really for the purpose of just having fun with it. Because we're not trying to make anything come to us. These conversations, nothing really is about making anything come to you, because it's already making its way to you. You are all already on this path, and your negative emotion just lets you know when you're off your path. And this negative emotion isn't something that you really need to freak out about. It's something that literally tells you when you're off the path. So you're making your way back onto the path. Then things like meditation, meditation it ensures that you're in the high flying place. But also things like scripting and things like daydreaming, all these things are just for the fun of it. All these things are just for the fun of it. Finding the feeling place is just for the fun of it, because you could just not think about your desire and get it. But sometimes it's better to daydream it, because the value that daydreaming gives you is that you're more likely to be in the vibrational alignment about that desire when you're visualizing it than worrying about it. Because if it's between worrying about it or visualizing about it, then you should visualize about it. You should daydream about it. You should think about it, because a lot of the times, because when you understand law of attraction, you understand the vortex. When you know what this all feels like, then you're in this high flying place most of the time. So we're saying, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you're on the high flying place most of the time. But when you're on the high flying place, you don't know how to, or you don't know that you don't want to push the agenda. You don't want to push the envelope, because it's almost like you're kind of scared of going back down. But we're saying going back down is not a big deal, because now you know what to do. Now you know how to go back up to the high flying frequencies. So nothing really can get you down for too long. There's no thoughts that can really throw you off your path, where you have to wait until tomorrow when you wake up from sleep to be back on your path. No, because you're good at this. You understand what you're doing. You have enough momentum. You have enough positive momentum that you don't really fall off your high horse, because the ability to go back to the probability that you're going to go back up to the higher frequency is you're more likely to it, more likely to do it. And so we don't want to push. Sometimes as humans, you don't want to push because you don't want that other hat to drop. You don't want to, because you're scared of resistance, you're scared of negative emotion, but you don't need to be afraid of it, because it's just giving you guidance. And so we're telling you it's time to, when we say, when you talk about why you want your desire, you talk about the feeling of it. You talk about what you want. You talk about the area. Talk about everything that you want, and talk about the feeling of it. All of that, because when you find the feeling of your desire, when you ask yourself why you want it, you're in a pure place. You're in a pure place where now you can actually. It literally feels like you have your desire. It feels like you have your money. It feels like you have your YouTube channel, your book, everything. But what we're saying is that when you become a vibrational expert, how come when you reach that feeling of like, yes, I'm in the vortex, yes. How come you're not saying things like, oh, I have my book, because you feel crazy. You would feel crazy to, like, if someone were to come up to you right now and be like, hey, Notorious, how are you doing? And I'd be like, oh, Notorious is doing very well. I'm doing very well. And they're like, oh, like, how's that book you're writing? I'd be like, oh, it's amazing. Like, I love this book that I'm writing. It's so amazing. It's so perfect. It's exactly the way I want it. And they'd be like, oh, so the way you feel about it seems like it's already printed and ready to go. And you're like, well, it doesn't, you're talking about the physical version of it, but the vibrational version of it, do you see what I mean? It's like the vibrational version of it. You would feel crazy to stake your claim on it, to really almost like put all your eggs in that basket, because you're you have that plan B, because what you want is still future tense. When you think about what you want and you don't know how you're gonna get there, that's because you haven't lined the energy up. When you think about your desire, it should just feel easy. It should feel fun. And that's what we mean. If your desire hasn't come yet, then you haven't found the vibrational frequency. You haven't found alignment with your vibrational frequency in this now moment, and the vibrational frequency of your vortex, of your desire, and held it long enough for momentum to grow. Because you're good at this. You understand. Let me talk about why I want it. Why do I want this desire? Because it's gonna make me feel good. It's gonna make me feel so fun. It's so nice for things to catch fire. It just feels good. It just feels right. It feels easy. And then you kind of just. And then you're just like, oh, well, it's not here though, because you're still seeing your desires as future tense. But we're saying you're not creating the future. You're literally adjusting your frequency right now. It's not interesting. You're not creating the frequency that you achieve in this now moment will be what will have basically it'll play a role in what happens next. But the most, your power is now. Your power is not later. Your power is right now. So we're saying we're saying when you're on the high flying frequency, because you can't do this. You can't affirm, you can't do affirmations from a place of being dissatisfied with where you are, because you can't fix. When you're dissatisfied about where you are, there's nothing that you could do that can fix. There's no process that you can do that can make you more satisfied. You just have to you have to use your tricks. You have to just do what you can to get more satisfied, because once you get over the hurdle, once you go from a place of depression and you make your way up to satisfaction, now you can start doing things like affirmation. Because we're telling you, when you go into the high flying frequencies, it's not like you just sit there and you just you just chill. It's not like that. It's actually really fun. You have a lot of fun, because when you're there, when you're on the high flying frequency, you feel everything. You literally feel rich. You feel like you have everything. And we're saying, like, it's time for you to really go to those high flying frequencies and affirm who you are. Who are you? And you have to remind yourself, because when you're in the high flying frequency, that's a time to step on the gas. That's a time to visualize and to daydream and to have fun and to let your mind run rampant. That's a time because what we're saying is that when we look at you, we see you as the rich person that you are. We see you as the actor, the actress that you want to become. We see you as a writer with your literary empire already, but you're still seeing as future tense, because you're not, the vibrational version is still not something that you can you can wrap your mind around, because it's still, because when we say the vibrational version, it still feels like something. Okay, it's not physical yet. It's gonna turn into physical. But do you see? It's like, oh yeah, I have this vibrational version. It's gonna turn physical, but I still have this vibrational version. But it's like, we want you to be like, I have this vibrational version. You know what it is? It's like, you have to. When you haven't found when what you want hasn't come, it's because you're not pure with your thoughts. You keep adding resistance into the noise, because when you're pure with your thoughts, it comes really fast, or it comes basically instantly. There's not so much of a time gap. But so you know what we're saying is that, like, your desires, there's a vibrational gap. It's like literally like a frequency, a channel gap. And when you hit that channel, because you feel it. Because you feel it. You harmonize with your dollars, with your your big ass fortune. Because you feel it, you feel the presence of it, and it feels like elation, it feels like fun. And once you're there, like you have the money, But someone will be like, but I still don't see it yet. We're like, that's why though. Isn't that interesting? It's like, because we're saying, like, you need to cash in on your vibrational version of it, because the vibrational version of it, the version of it that will turn into the physical manifestation. Because the thing is, that's what is screwing everyone up. Is that it's gonna turn into the physical thing. So it's like, oh, this money is gonna turn into the physical thing, and then that's gonna be fun. But as it stands right now, as a version of it right now, I'm still dissatisfied with it. Whereas when you're saying things like, oh, I have a vibrational version of my desire, it's good. I literally have $1 million. I have $1,000. I can pay everyone's bills. I can pay my bills. I can do whatever I want. I can go on vacation. I can pack my bags right now. I can, because you don't think when we say when the money's in your bank account, and when the money's in your vortex, it's two different experiences. But we're saying that's the reason why you don't have the money in your bank account, because there's still two different experiences. The money in the vortex and the money in the bank, need to feel the same, and then the money comes into the bank, because reality won't. The thing is, reality is responding to you. But if you're not adjusting your frequency, if you're saying, oh, it's gonna be nice when I have that, if you're not really making yourself feel, it's not like feeling the desire, it's literally like adjusting your vibration so that it's matching the vibration of that desire. And how do you match the frequency of a desire? You talk about why you want it. Literally, that's the best way to do it. Talk about why you want it. Talk about why you want it, and leave people out. Always leave people out. Always talk about how it makes you feel. Make it a selfish desire. I want it because I want it. I want it because I want it. I want it because I want it. There's really no more explanation than that. And And then it's like the more you talk about it, the more momentum grows, and then you calibrate to that frequency. You know that you're there. Like, I'm in that spot. Once you know that you're, in that frequency of your desire, that's when you can really start claiming it. You can really start seeing things like, I have $1 million, I have my money, I have my book, I have everything I want, because I have a vibrational version of it. But when the vibrational version of it isn't enough, you're dissatisfied with it, then you can't really get to the physical version, and that's usually what's kind of getting you stuck. Because what is plays a really big role, but what is doesn't have to play a big role when you realize that you're not really as dissatisfied with where you stand as you think you are, because reality is temporary anyways, and you can still, it's like you can have a lot more fun on the path when it's like you can enjoy your desire in advance before it comes. And when we mean enjoy it, we mean like you could literally celebrate it. You can walk around as if you are a millionaire, as if you are the most successful person in your entire generation, as if you are this peerless artist who no one can really hold a torch to. You can walk around, and that's how the people who you revere as masters, that's how they did it, because they believed it before they saw it. But we're saying believing before you see it has taken on a whole new meaning, because you truly can cash in on that creation now. You can cash in on it now. Your desires are current reality, and you have to, it's not like claim it, but if it feels good, then you can do it. You can be like, I'm rich. Because the thing is, once you really understand law of attraction, it's like when you meditate, when you really understand what your source energy feels like, you're going to start to see evidence everywhere. But also, you're going to start to really summon, but it's like through your life, you've summoned such a big energy stream. It's fast because you've been asking, you're focused. You came in here in this experience knowing exactly who you were, and you took it to your daydreams. You were receiving from source, but you really understood reality as something, as being fake. The reality that you're looking at is just not the true reality, because it's like if you were in your daydreams all day and like you have this version of yourself and that's what you just kept focusing on, then reality would catch up to it. But you keep seeing it as future. It's not here yet, but it's something that will happen. But we're saying that we're not talking about what will happen. We're talking about what is real right now. We're talking about what you can activate right now, because it's all about now. Your power is now. It's all about now. It's about your point of attraction right now. So friends, it's time for you to cash in on those vibrational currencies, because what you want is literally real. What you want is not only real, it's like you can enjoy it right now. You can have a lot more fun in your life when you realize that you can experience everything you want now. You don't have to wait until you're over there, because you're never going to get over there. And it's actually when you start seeing the money in the vortex as the money in your bank account, when that feeling is the same, then you bridge that gap. It's all about frequencies. And what we're saying is that if you can find the frequency of the money, if you can find the frequency of the success that you want and stay there, and you know you're there because it feels good, then it like, if it doesn't come to you, then you know why? Because you go to that frequency, you harmonize with your desire, and then you harmonize with the absence of it. You harmonize with your desire, and so like you're flip-flopping. You're in both places. You're in both places. So no real momentum gets going. So we're like, you really, it's like you really have so many. There's just a path of least resistance, because it will come to you on the path of least resistance, and it's just up to you. It's up to you what you're doing right now, and so you can enjoy your desire. You're everything you want is real. Everything you want is real. And so it's time for you to walk around like because what you want is literally real. So how can you not it's like, once you look at your bank account, be like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who being poor is. I'm so rich. It's in my vortex. It's in all my vortex, but I'm rich. I count it as real. It's mine. I'm not waiting for it to manifest, because when I realize that, because the thing is, like, you've been waiting all this time, and it's not going to ever change. It's not going to change this month. It's not, this is not good. Sometimes you hear people say things like, oh, this is going to be my month. But it's like, if it's not your moment right now, then this month won't be your month, because it's all about what you're doing right now. It's not about later. It's about now. So claim your fortune now. Enjoy your fortune now. We want you to believe in things that and talk about things and get excited and feel like they're yours and own them and truly become them. Become things that you can't perform for anyone or explain to anyone or show anyone. Yes, because the unseen is the vibration that only you can translate right now. But as it gathers momentum, everyone will be able to see it. But if everyone being able to see it is your condition, then it won't come. That's the thing, is that if your desire hasn't been coming yet, it's because the only reason why is because it hasn't been coming. The reason why your desire isn't coming is because it hasn't been coming, because you keep noticing that it hasn't been coming. But when you realize that, you know what, I have a vibrational version of it, so I have it. I am this person. I am this person, and my stream is fast, and it's like you just cannot not be who you are anymore. You cannot not be who you are, because the absence of not being who you are, you can't go back. The absence of not being who you are is really gonna kill you. It's gonna be so destructive to all else. So it's like this stream is fast. So you more sensitive you get, the more you just have to go with the flow. And so you are rich, you are successful, but we're talking about now. We're not talking about later. We're talking about literally now. You are successful. You are so rich because the universe has already summoned it all for you. So friends, lighten up and enjoy your creations now.